Welcome to another how-to video. My name is Dave Davis, CTO at DVS. Firstly, I'd like to say a massive thank you to Seagate for all our sponsorship last year and getting on board with us and really driving us forward. So here's to 2019 when you're all joining us for the first video of the year and to another great partnership. So today we're going to take a look at the Hikvision 4-channel Wi-Fi kit. Two different kits available. I've got the one with bullets. I like the bullets. There is a dumb version available. We're going to do the unboxing now. It's a kit in a box. 4 megapixel 2.8 fixed mil bullet cameras with Wi-Fi on it and 12 volt PSUs, and then the NVR to receive them. Now the distance is up to 50 meters. That's going to be environmental, so every site will be different. It will depend on the construction material, the type of walls, environmental, so other RF sources like Wi-Fi, etc., radio sources that are actually present in there. So it's up to 50 meters. I'd say realistically you're going to aim for 25 to 30 meters. So it's aimed at really the domestic or rapid deployment market where you need to protect the property very quickly, no cabling required, and this makes a very simple fit. So we're going to do the unboxing. So in the box we have a box. Inside this box we have the NVR itself. So if we take that out, you've got the manual and the CD in there. You'll see it's a very small form factor. It's already got a 1 terabyte drive fitted internally, so it comes out the box with a 1 terabyte drive. Obviously that can be changed by yourself if needed, if 1 terabyte isn't enough, but it is aimed at that lower end rapid deployment or domestic market. 2 aerials on the back, simply pop up into situ, and then you've got the touch screen on the front, so we've come to be very familiar with, and on the back you've got your LAN, USBs, HDMI, VGA, audio out, and your 12 volt adapter. So how this would work with this, as I say, the hard drive's already installed. You've got your mouse, lovely Hikvision mouse. So that would plug into the back of the USB there. It comes with a LAN cable to connect to your router for HiConnect, and you've got your 12 volt power supply. Now this makes it easy if you're trying to put this into a tower or something like a rapid deployment, because it's 12 volt, there's no PoE obviously. The cameras are 12 volts as well, so again might work very nicely in that. So plug the 12 volt in, plug that in, and you've got power. Next part is the cameras themselves. So you get 2 rows get that out of the way like 3 feet. So you get 4 cameras. So again you've got your bullet, small form factor bullet with an adjustable bracket, and you tighten it there, and you've got like an Allen key tightening on there. So cellophane wrapper covers the IR. So again, fixed lens with the SD card and the reset button under there should you need it. Just tighten that up. It's got your fly lead. So yes, it has got a LAN connector. We're going to use the 12 volt DC connection. So we've got 4 of these. Next step is the aerials. So in this box you get 1 aerial per camera, 1 power supply per camera, plus a nice long HDMI cable. You get the plastic glands for the LAN connection if you need them, a little installation manual, and some drill templates and some screws. Wonderful. So the idea is you take an aerial, take the protective red cap off, It's like one of those SMA connectors. Screw it on there nice and tightly. Adjust this so the aerial is in the correct position, and then tighten. I'm going to hand tighten that, but ideally you probably want to get a little bit of grip or spanner on there. So there's the aerial. Yeah, you would want to tighten that. That's the Wi-Fi aerial. You plug it in with 12 volts. Install that and power it. And then you'd have a monitor plugged into this where we'll do the setup now. So I will go and get a monitor. I will go and put these cameras in another room within the building, and we will continue to add them. Okay, welcome back to the second part. So I've actually put the cameras on the floor down here. All of them are plugged in with a 12 volt. The NVR is quite near here. So if you look here, you can see is the NVR connected to this monitor. And what we'll do is go through the actual setup now. It's easier for me to do it when the cameras are by here and then take the cameras further away. This might be good practice. So let's set up a password to activate the NVR. Okay, so my NVR and IP camera activation will all remain the same. Just put this in as a way of getting it online. Yeah. Select our country, so we're going to select Europe. Click on OK, and my NVR will activate. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Apply. Yeah, initialize hard drive, yeah. Okay, so you've got two options on the wizard. You've got manual add or auto add. Wait for this to come up. So I haven't touched anything yet. It's still locating the cameras. There's two of them added. So that one and that one. These two still not. Okay, exit that, exit wizard, yes. Okay, so we've got all four cameras added now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I know they're all looking at the same thing. So we can go to menu. The menu structure is based on the old GUI 3. But you've got, firstly, the hard drive is initialized 1 terabyte, so that's fine. Yep, all okay on that. What we're going to do is put the record to 24/7 on all channels, which it is. Parameters is set to 4 megapixel on all, which is fine. We'll make them 15 frames a second. Actually, let's do full frame. Go to general, maximum bit rate 2048, but we're going to change H.265 on. Bandwidth adaptation, yes. Click apply. Setting the camera to. Okay, so you can see now they're all back up and running. Set the time and date. I've got labeled them DVS Wi-Fi camera 1, 2, 3 and 4, so I know which one is which, but obviously you put your own generic names in there. What I've also done, so under OSD I've just labeled them, so each one is unique. And then under motion, I've turned the motion off, so they're continue record. Now it's up to you if you want a combination of continue record, just motion record. That's entirely up to you. I prefer constant record myself. You've got the ability to do privacy, masking, etc., video tampering, video loss, and VCA. The VCA on the Wi-Fi kits, we don't support the smart VCA analytics for obvious reasons. What we would suggest is, because each camera does have an SD card slot, is if you're unsure how stable the Wi-Fi will be in a specific area, you're probably better putting an SD card in each camera. If the Wi-Fi signal goes down for some reason, or the recorder goes down or gets stolen, or any combination of things, the camera would still be running and still have evidence on that SD card which you're able to retrieve. So it's probably a good idea to do that. Other than that, the functionality is very, very familiar. So you've got obviously all your camera functions there, like we've just discussed. You've got your configuration, so all your standard configuration. I'm going to enable wizard and password for now, just because we're on a test site. DST and more settings, etc. Menu output mode. You've got your network, so I'm going to put this to no, actually I'm going to leave that. No, I'm going to change it to, I'm going to put it onto Hype Connect, so let me just change this to the right one as we are now. Okay, done. Yep, platform access, enable Hype Connect. Yep. So put the verification code in there. That's just what I'm going to use for this particular one. Get rid of stream encryption. Apply. For those that don't know, if this device has been bound to a Hype Connect account, what you can do on the local GUI now on all of the latest firmware for the NVR DVRs is actually get into the NVR DVR and click unbind or unlink. That will remove it from the current Hype Connect account and allow you to add it to a new one. It's a new function. I'll do a separate video on that. DDNS, NTP, email for all that, NAT and more settings for any of that stuff you need. You've got your Wi-Fi settings there. So your SSID is specific for this NVR, so if it clashes with a different NVR, you can obviously change that. You've got your country, channel, self-adaptive, or you can force it. Bandwidth you can change or leave it as auto 2040, which is, these are suggested, so these are what we suggest starting with, but you can obviously adjust these if it needed on that specific site. And you've got your WPS settings there. I don't have a router with WPS one touch setting on there, but if I did I could use that. It's going to try and connect, but I don't have one with it. No alarm output, so anything. You've got your live view interface there, which you've already set up as 2x2, and your audio output, exceptions, and new users. So that's pretty much standard. Your maintenance, so under network detect, it'll show you your traffic. That's your Wi-Fi network, so it's telling you how much is coming across that. I don't have the LAN connected, which I'll do now. So far we've got about 9 meg coming across. Hard drive detect and system service there. So we'll just turn that on, yes. I'll reboot this now. I'm going to link it up to Hype Connect, and I'm going to move the cameras into another room and we'll see the performance. So stay with me and I'll see you in 2 ticks. Okay, so to get it on Hype Connect, we've got the screen up. It's showing online. I'm going to open the app now. So I've opened up the app. I'm going to click add. Scan QR code, scan that QR code there, add that in, finish, save, and this there. So if I click on a camera now, so it's on basic stream, so I can select HD stream. There we go. Put it into a 4-way split and add more cameras to this. So I can go and add that one. There you go. So the same functionality as any other device on Hype Connect. I'm going to close that down now because it's using up a lot of the bandwidth. What I'm going to do now is actually go and move the cameras to another room. Okay, so I've eventually moved the cameras into the training room. So the cameras are around 18 meters away from the current location. So they're all streaming. This is showing in substream now. So if any of you are familiar with our training room, here it is. I'll show you the signal strength per camera. So the signal strength is okay. They are set as 4 megapixel, 12 frames a second at H.265 plus on now. So if I double click to open a camera full screen, it will bring through the full res image. As you can see, that's quite a nice image. If we go into playback, same as a standard NVR, DVR, select the camera, time and date. If we go make it an hour, actually let's make it 2 hours. Go to here where I just was. There you are, you'll see me walking through and testing it all. Just play that back. There we go. Right there. There we go. So the cameras have got a built-in microphone in there, so you are able to record the audio from each camera if it's necessary. You don't need an external mic, they are built in. You can see there the playback worked really nicely for 12 frames a second, that was fine. So we'll exit that and go back to the desktop, back to the main VMS screen. What I have found is it is better to add each camera individually. So power the NVR up, power the first camera up, add it to the system, put the OSD name in it, adjust the frame rate, bit rate, etc. what you need to do, and then turn the second one on, do that one, then the third one. If you turn them on all together, one, it takes a lot longer because they're trying to auto-configure and add themselves, and sometimes it gets confused with what cameras what. So I found for ease of processes, each camera individually, and it works really, really nicely. That's all I need to show you on the Wi-Fi kit. Just always remember that it is aimed at the sort of domestic lower end market, rapid deployment. Make sure your expectation is realistic, so it's up to 50 meters clear line of sight, but that will be dependent on environmental. So always assess, is it the right equipment for the job? It's never going to be as good as a wired system, obviously, but it does work really well. Say this is around 18 to 20 meters away. It's working quite nicely with all 4 cameras in that room streaming back to the one location. I do have quite a lot of RF, quite a lot of Wi-Fi, monitors, NVRs, metal in the ceiling, in the walls, etc. So that will affect the signal. Even though it's good, you will see an effect of that. But other than that, it is working quite well. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, please speak to us here at DVS. Ask one of our sales, one of our tech guys, even me, whatever that is, you need to get the answer. See you next week for the next how-to video. We've got some very, very good videos coming up, some very new technology. I'm off to China in a couple of weeks, so I can bring back some really exciting news on what's coming up this year. But we got a new turbo IDS machine, which I'll do more on, new intercom PoE systems, deep learning, new hardware revisions on that, so that's for the false alarm and face recognition, and always new hike central, new access control, new cameras. We've got the easy IP4 cameras and NVR set up just over there, so we'll do that next week. Other than that, thanks for the journey through 2018. Keep with us in 2019 where there'll be some really exciting things, hopefully. And Peaky Blinders, if you're watching, hurry up and make a new series, because I'm getting bored of what's on TV and I really need to watch the new series on that. Other than that, see you soon, guys. Cheers.